It is the largest beef recall in history, and it's happening here in the United States. 143 million pounds of beef is being taken out of stores and out of schools this week after shocking undercover video from a California slaughterhouse. 50 million pounds of that suspicious meat went to school lunch programs in our nation, potentially exposing children to foodborne bacteria and illness. So how is all of this affecting us? Dr. Michael Hansen is the senior staff scientist with the Consumer Union, the publisher of Consumer Reports, and he brings us the very latest this morning. Good morning to you, Dr. Hansen.
Good morning.
Well, this investigation was the result of the Humane Society's undercover video, basically taking you inside, documenting the sick and injured cows being prodded and kicked to stand at the Westland Hallmark Meat Company. That company has now been shut down. How likely is it that this could be happening in other places that we just have not seen undercover video of yet in our country?
Well, from discussions with various inspectors, it appears that this same situation could be happening in other plants as well because of problems with the inspection process.
Let's talk about the inspection process for a minute, because it is critical that we have an effective system of checks and balances in place to ensure that the meat we're eating is safe. So where are those loopholes, and what are we talking about that really needs to be done here?
Well, probably the biggest thing that needs to be done is to get rid of these meat secrecy rules. What's outrageous is the fact that the place where all this recalled meat went to is considered confidential business information. So they won't tell us the retail stores or the schools or any other place where that meat has gone. And that really does need to be made public immediately so people can take action, particularly if they've bought meat products which could be sitting in their refrigerators.
In refrigerator or freezers or on their school lunch plate right now. Because of the 143 million pounds of beef recalled, about a third of that, 50 million pounds, went to our public school programs. 20 million of that has already been eaten by children. 15 million of it we know is in storage. And they're still trying to locate another 15 million pounds somewhere in the system. So how concerned should we be?
Well, I think consumers should be very concerned, because this shows how much our food safety system is broken, and they should be demanding action. This proposal to make these retail locations to get rid of this meat secrecy, they proposed this in March of 2006, and they still haven't taken any action, and now they tell us it might be by the end of the year. That is not swift action. They need to take action much more quickly in these cases.
Dr. Hansen, we've just heard that another case of mad cow has been discovered in Canada. Is that something, another similar situation that could slip through the cracks here in the United States without us knowing?
Absolutely, because these animals that were being forced into this slaughter plant illegally were what are called downer cows. Those are animals that go down and can't stand up. Those animals are at increased risk for BSE. And with this new case up in Canada, and I should point out that we reopen the border to Canadian beef. Any animal born after March of 1999 can be sent into this country to be turned into meat. And I should point out that 6 out of Canada's 12 BSE cases were born after that point.
So,
So
what needs to be done here then, and is it going to be? I mean, you've seen the shocking details. What shocks you the most, and what needs to be done about it?
Well, the top thing is to basically end that meat secrecy law. As for the BSE case, we've argued that the USDA should not have reopened the border with Canada, that they should keep it closed until more stringent actions have been taken on the Canadian side of the border. That will not happen anytime soon, but I should point out that there are a number of groups that have sued the USDA to reclose the border because of the potential increased risk of getting animals that might have BSE being shipped into this country.
All right, Dr. Michael Hansen, Senior Staff Scientist with the Consumer Union, thanks for joining us this morning.